Hello, everybody in Facebook Live land. We are the Podguyz Podcast, bringing it to you live like every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. I am Tony Kaz, followed by
Kevin Neary here.
We also have the ever-loving Picasso.
Sparky,
I'm digging the haircut, man, digging the haircut. Today, I'm very pleased to bring you a very special guest. He is the man, the myth, the wonder, Brad, a.k.a. Curly G.
The youngest grandson of Curly Howard.
He is the grandson of Curly Howard, famous for, of course, the Three Stooges. Brad, thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Hey, fellas. I'm glad to be on your show.
Wow, man, I have like a ton of questions. I don't even know where to start. I'm kind of I've heard so many.
I can make it easy for you. I don't have any answers.
Oh, excellent!
How about that?
That sounds perfect. But before we happen to pop into any questions, a loving Picasso, Sparky, wants to start in on a little rant. Let's start it in, Sparkles. Come on. Not even a rant. You have something to say.
I just want to go off and say congratulations to one of my co-workers, Stefan, and his wife, Megan. They were just married Friday afternoon.
Congratulations.
So on behalf of the pod guys, I'm going to say, happy life, happy wife. So, give a little applaud.
All right.
True.
Yeah, marriage, yeah. What do you got? What's the over-under on that?
We are going life or death.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that after the show. Then over/under, we'll put a number to it.
Definitely.
You're talking about their marriage?
Yeah.
Happy? What are we talking about there?
Over/under. Well, it's a game that me and my single friends play. Over/under on marriages. Over/under 5 years. Sometimes you end up with some surprise money. Yeah,
It's like betting on the. It's like betting on the death pool.
It is like betting on the death pool. Yeah,
very much so. All right, let's start off from the very beginning, I guess. Of course, your grandfather, Curly, amazing man, of course, king of slapstick comedy. Of course, all the brothers, all the Howards, of course, Mo, Shemp, and Curly.
Correct.
Mo, Shemp, and he had two other brothers. Am I correct?
There's two other brothers.
Two other brothers. Okay.
Yes.
Which didn't get into into comedy, right?
That's correct. They were the two older brothers, and then Mo, and then they came in. So yes.
No, I know living in a very Jewish lifestyle, and especially for that particular time, like was it against and not necessarily against religion, but like was it frowned upon in order to get into entertainment as a slapstick comedian for those guys?
Are you asking me because you think I'm Jewish?
No.
Are you assuming
Well,
Jewish?
I'm Jewish, so.
Are you calling me a Jew? I'm actually a
once you a mensch, you're a mensch.
I believe if you look at the history of film and what was going on, that maybe it was the time. I certainly wasn't born back then, so
okay.
I'm not really 100% sure, but I know that their parents, when they were sneaking off to be in vaudeville, Mo and Shep were sneaking off to Coney Island and to start doing and getting their craft together. I know that they weren't happy about it, but they learned that they learned to accept it after a while, and obviously they made quite a craft of it and became world famous.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I know with Larry had come into the mix a little bit later, especially after Shemp kind of went away from the vaudeville game. And I know that they were getting into movies, they were getting into short stories and stuff like that. And Shemp wanted to kind of start his own career, from what I understood, right?
Yeah, he did. And actually, I didn't even know this till recently. One of my buddies works at Universal where he restores old films. Mm-hmm. And he called me up and he's like, oh my God, I'm working on this old gangster movie. And Shemp is a gangster. He's a bad guy. And I had no idea that he was even doing full features and ones that weren't even comedies. So he had quite a book of work that he's done other than the Stooges.
Ah, that's crazy. That is pretty crazy. Yeah. I know that, not necessarily, let me see here, if I can get my timeline correct. I know that, and we talked about it earlier, Ted Healy, of all people. He was a bit scummy. He was just to put it nicely.
He wasn't the nicest guy.
Yeah, he wasn't the nicest guy. He had really boned them for a lot of money. Like, thousands and thousands of dollars. And for that particular time, like, that was a lot of money. Yeah. And I know he signed them up for shady contracts. And he was doing certain things with the production company.
Well, Ted Healy and his stooges, so he, thinking that he was the front man, he was taking most of the money, he was drawing up the contracts, and the day that they decided to disman themselves from him was probably the best day of their careers. So
that's fantastic. Yeah.
And now,
he had a drinking problem.
A bad account, right?
Yeah.
Well, that dude had more than a drinking problem. He had a running of the mouth problem as well, from what I heard, and what I was reading. That. Yeah.
I'm nice drunk. I'm always nice. I like to drink. In fact, I like Curly Light when I have it.
Isn't that a Pennsylvania beer, by the way?
It certainly is.
Yes, it is.
Campbell's Brewing Company. Yes.
Yeah. I've seen that before. I think I've had one, and it tastes pretty delicious.
No, not this one. I've had this one. This is probably like 15 years old. It's like vinegar.
Yeah, that's probably pretty disgusting.
It's delicious.
I've had it before. It's beer-flavored beer. If you've ever had the beer-flavored beer, it's very good stuff.
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah.
It tastes just like a beer. It's pretty generic. It's, there's nothing extremely hoppy about it, but there's nothing familiar as like, oh, it tastes like a Miller Lite. There's nothing to really compare it to. In my opinion, it tastes less like a High Life, more like an MGD. But
Nice.
Pretty decent. I mean, well, you got to understand, being from Pennsylvania and an alcoholic, once we get beer of any sort, and you run out, you go for the memorabilia stuff.
Whatever you can get your hands on.
Yeah. It was, I haven't had a drink in almost 2 years now, so I'm proud of that idea.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
To reprogram myself by saying I call it carbonated gasoline. But man, the Stooges do have a lot of merchandise, memorabilia, coffee mugs, ping pongs, belt buckles, literally anything that they could put Larry, Moe, and Curly. Not so much Shemp. Shemp is on some stuff though, but just whatever they could find, they had. You'll find a bumper sticker of the Stooges. A basketball of the Stooges, a helmet of the Stooges. The helmets make sense because of all the physical violence.
Well, absolutely. You got to go to shopknuckleheads.com. Is the Three Stooges Emporium for all things memorabilia Stooges. That's where you got to go.
Shopknuckleheads.com?
Yeah.
Shameless plug, by the way.
And I wasn't plugging it because I just wanted the fans to know that that's where they can go online to buy everything Stooges.
Now, Brad, do you happen to have anything special in your house that you have kept of your grandfather's?
I have most of the stuff was purchased through Shop Knuckleheads, or even prior to that when they were called something else. But I have some pictures of my grandmother with Curly, with her parents, showing off her engagement ring. A couple photos, but most of the actual trinkets and memorabilia I either purchased or I got at the fan club meetings, which of course most of them were all in Pennsylvania. They're all just outside of Ambler, I think Fort Washington, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So that's where the fan club's meeting around PA. PA is a very special place for the Stooges, and of course Larry Fine's birthplace. So what a wonderful place to live.
That's true. That is true. When you say lucky in the state of Pennsylvania, I don't see that hand in hand.
It always comes up sarcastic. You're lucky to just be nice. Pennsylvania. You get the microscopic coal dust, right? Yeah.
How do you like Black Lung? Because that appeared in Pennsylvania.
Is that from all the coal? From working in the mines?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the black in the lungs.
No.
The tar and the nicotine.
No.
I don't go down. Sorry, not that kind of guy. Never go down in the mines.
You gotta love it when their safety harness in the coal mines was a frickin' bird. All right, they're like, all right, it's like, well, what do I get? Well, just in case we run out of oxygen, do you guys have any oxygen on you? No, but here's a live bird. When this dies, run the hell out.
Now, Brad, do you happen to know what happened to Ted Healy? Because there's conflicting stories all over the web as far as, like, what was said to whom and who was said to what. And
like there was a fight and he had, like, a brawl or something?
Yeah.
Or something like that. I've heard little pieces, just like you did. I'm not a historian on the stuff that happened to some of these people.
That's why I wish Jeff would have been here.
He's going to know everything about the Stooges.
I know.
You got to get him on here.
I don't know why he ditched us, but maybe I smell.
I got to get some bad connection.
I don't know.
Yeah, although
it could be.
It's raining in Canada.
Yeah.
The birds.
It could be hard rain. It could be
There was a lot of talk of how, especially not necessarily your grandfather, but like all of the Stooges were very close to mobsters.
Well, I think, yeah. I think so. I think most people in Hollywood in the days, even if you go back to move up to the Rat Pack, they all kind of have their ties to the organized crime and stuff. So I would say, I think
the Lucianos
a couple photos where they look like gangsters. Really dope. They look dope. Curly's very handsome and very like this, very tough. Sorry, my chin doesn't look defined. It's because I drank too much on Saturday. I'm a little puffy.
Especially since you're a Dodgers fan, and unfortunately,
yes, Tomorrow, I told you tomorrow it happens.
Tomorrow.
We can't wait. We need to win tomorrow.
I need to talk about that game because
they're still taking a travel day, even though they're playing in the same stadium due to the COVID-19 restrictions. Which is just.
It's okay, though. They've been playing, like, in, 30 days? They played 26 days? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Muscles are sore.
They need a break.
Of course.
The NBA bubble, they would, for home games of the NBA bubble down in Orlando, Florida, they would change the stickers on the floor. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys are just doing it for you at that point, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, not to jump too far off topic here, but what was the story of your grandfather and him shooting himself in the foot?
It was on their farm. They had a farm outside of Bensonhurst, I believe, and up in the mountains or something. And he had I believe it was a shotgun or something, and he was holding it down, and I don't know if he tripped or whatever, but he did shoot himself. I don't believe he missed. He didn't his toes didn't shoot off or anything. Obviously a little gimpy, and that's why when you see him doing his hobble,
he does the hobble. Yeah. I don't know if you knew Kevin and Sparky, but that's where he actually got his gait, his walk from, because he had shot himself in the foot with the shotgun.
Then a little bit of a gimp, and
yeah.
It could have been gout. I mean, they might have made up this whole thing. Remember, they were Jewish. We're Jewish a little bit,
True,
so we get the gout.
Just a little bit.
It could have been the gout. Maybe it was hurting so bad he wanted to shoot it off. Anything's possible. He's a stooge.
So in other words, you're saying the trick to the curly shuffle is use a shotgun.
And gout.
I'm not saying that. No. I'm a proponent of safe gun laws.
You want to hear it first. Shoot yourself in the foot.
Oh, no.
You'll get to be Curly Howard.
I don't want another lawsuit. I don't believe in guns.
No, me neither. No, that's... but, Brad, when you tell people that your grandfather, if they ask you who your grandfather was, and you tell them who it is, you say it's Curly from the Three Stooges, do they ever give you this look like up and down?
Yeah.
Not as creepy.
Like right up in you, like I can see it.
Well, what's more impressive is like if I'm out to dinner or something. I could be out to dinner or eating with family, whatever, and there'll just be someone who'll be like looking at me, and then they'll pay their bill and they'll walk over and they're like, "Oh, we were just curious. You resemble Curly Howard a little bit from the Three Stooges." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's my grandfather." And then I just go back to eating, and they're like, what? And then they turn white because they're like.
Do they ever try to break a chair over you to test it out?
No, but I do get slapped and hit a lot, but I usually provoke it because I was built and born for this.
That's okay. That's hilarious. So they okay. At least you bring it on to yourself, though. They just said, "Oh, Curly from the Three Stooges." Hit them a couple times, and we'll test them out like you're a product.
Good.
Do you do any entertainment? Are you in the entertainment business yourself? Did you follow in your grandfather's footsteps at all?
Well, I do a lot of video work on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel where a lot of the videos that we do are physical humor, slapstick type videos.
Oh, what's the name of that?
Curly
channel?
G.
Curly G.
Curly G. I'd love for the fans to come on board, subscribe, and ring the little bell. Tell us if you like the stuff.
Now that's insanely easy to remember. Curly G. It's YouTube. You just look it up and subscribe, like. And what is the video content? What is the majority of the video content?
The video content is I am a babysitter in a series called Big Baby, where I babysit a giant, full-grown male baby. And the baby likes to hit me a lot, so that's...
So, hold on, you work for the President of the United States? I thought you were...
And then just some...
Secret Service here. I didn't know.
Yeah, and then just Curly's grandson at the park, Curly's grandson doing whatever, getting slapped around, just being me.
I could see that being a Trump demand. Give me Curly's grandson. I wouldn't. I know no one else.
There will be pies. There will be eye poking.
Everybody has
on a heartbeat.
Hey, speaking of eye poking, right? I guess from what I understood, Shemp is actually the innovator of the eye poke, right?
Is that correct?
Yeah, because according to the story I was looking into. Shemp, Larry, and Mo were having a card game, I guess, at the house. And what had happened is that, I guess, Larry was cheating. Larry was cheating badly at a game of bridge.
Okay.
And I guess Shemp...
Cheats at bridge? What the hell kind of 1920 shyster cheats at bridge?
I don't even know how to play bridge. Never played it.
I don't know if that's worse or better than cheating at Uno.
Yeah. That's like cheating at solitaire.
Right. Why are there 72 cards here?
But I guess the story goes that Larry was cheating so bad that Shemp was so pissed off that he poked him in the eyes, like hard. And Mo laughed his ass off so hard that he fell back in his chair, through a glass door, and almost died. But and he said, yeah, he said that it was the funniest thing that he had ever seen, and that he was going to put it into the repertoire, of course, into the slapstick. Right. And he said it was hilarious just to even see it happen, because he didn't expect it, of course.
Right. Well, that's what you get for cheating. Don't cheat, especially at cribbage.
Yeah, no bridge.
It's a game that only rules are known by 115-year-olds, and there's very little left.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, seniors at nursing homes make fun of nurses that know how to play bridge. It's an old person's game.
Isn't cribbage just as bad?
What is cribbage? That sounds like the Harry Potter version of bridge.
I think it's got little sticks and stuff. It's I don't know.
Cribbage?
It's like a Denny's. It's like the Denny's thing that used to go.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh.
Except it's a rectangle. I don't know.
Yeah, they give you
is that what's going on?
45 minutes for 2 microwaved eggs. Yeah, I know. It's
yeah, moon's over my hammy.
Yeah, here's your microwaved eggs and your thawed out ham. Yeah.
Delicious.
The only thing that's changed about Denny's is the waitresses don't smoke a cigarette in front of you anymore. And then
they do at Perkins. They do at Perkins, by the way.
Crap. Why do you look like you have an invisible cigarette in your mouth?
I went to Perkins a couple weeks ago, and of course, a la COVID style, you walk in, you have to wait a half hour in order to get seated. And, of course, you're in a waiting room with 30 other people that are trying to get seated for a 6-person capacity in a lovely Denny or Perkins. So we're standing around, just hanging out. And we finally get seated. And I think the only 3 waiter/waitresses that were working were actually outside just smoking along. Not even taking care to take care of the table. So.
And at that point in the waiting room, it's almost like you guys are in your own little self-help group of self-hatred, so why are you here at the Perkins? Oh, I just can't stop coming back. I eat the pie. I know it's terrible, but I eat it anyways.
I'm ambitious for tater tots.
I ask for more. I know it's stale. It's terrible.
I'm a fat guy. I'm very ambitious for tater tots.
Tater tots. That's what does it. Really.
That's what does it for me for Perkins. Yeah.
I brought a Sonic's drive-through, and then you go home and cry into them.
Every time.
In that order.
So sad. So, I had a question for you, Brad. As far as Columbia Pictures, they did some horrible shit to the Stooges.
They weren't very nice to them. Yeah, they made them work tremendous amount of hours, and they had to get those shorts in, and they were promised a certain amount of money, and when it came down to pay time, they didn't get the pay they were told, and they certainly didn't get the pay they deserved.
Oh, of course.
They kind of strung them along for many, many years.
That's sad, man. That's really sad. I worked out not that I worked out the numbers, I seen the numbers of what they were getting. And according to Internet, they were getting $1,000 a week to share between the 3 of them. For that particular time, it was all right. You're talking about Hollywood. Not to say that I've been to Hollywood and I've seen. Unfortunately, Hollywood's kind of scummy.
Yes. Yes.
Now.
Parts of it.
Yeah.
Parts of it, yes.
And it's really, really, it's sad. Because we're all from the suburbs of Pennsylvania, man. We're right in not necessarily the wilderness, but of course, trees and, mountains and blah, blah, blah.
They cleaned up Hollywood a little bit. They got that Harvey Weinstein guy out of there, right?
Yeah. It doesn't smell quite as bad, but it's still not a pretty sight.
It's almost like the one setting example of I'm still trying to figure out how he's in. I mean, I get it. The guy's sleazy dude in that, but I'm still trying to figure out exactly how people were. I know the hashtag Me Too movement and all that nice stuff, but I run through the play-by-play in my head. Wait a second. So he said, "Okay, I'll do it,"
but I'm not going to like it.
Then he gave her the role. It's not like he said, "Oh, I was just joking about that role thing." Remember? And I got you to do it.
It's bad parenting. I mean, your parents teach you not to do things that are bad, even if you're going to get paid a lot of money.
Correct. It's a great. Absolutely, yeah. I'm thinking if you are so confident in your ability to act and portray characters, you should be fine with taking the high road on any venue that you see.
Right after he says that, you just say, "I heard what you just said to me. I will blackmail you unless you give me the role." And then
that's how most of Hollywood gets a role.
Yeah, Brad, you gotta teach them out there, because that sounds like the perfect go-to. You blackmail the man right there. You say, "Hey, I'm using my new technology."
Oh my God, $1 million idea! Hollywood we'll call it the company Hollywood Blackmail, and you could have people pay you. They could pay you to take a course in Hollywood blackmailing.
But here, then they do I don't know, and then the judge says "Oh yeah, you know what? He wouldn't have been in jail if he was a good-looking man. He was an ugly-looking man." No, the judge looked at him like, "Ugh, God,
he's disgusting."
Yeah, the thought of it was it's disgusting just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm imagining you naked right now, Mr. Weinstein, and there's not enough years I can put on your sentence to just get this image out of my head. Ugh. Somebody called my wife and prostitute and call them all up. I'm a better man than this. It was just weird. But yeah, I guess they're trying to clean up Hollywood or some parts of the entertainment industry that seem shady. The biggest problem is you have so many people that have been working either for free or for very little money, and then they get their little shots and things get going. that they are just so prone to say yes immediately, no matter what comes along their way. And it's totally understandable after a certain amount of time where you're like, well, this one's my big break, so I gotta say yes to it. And the Stooges all the same. Here, there was so much competition back then because you had to know how to sing, dance, sing, tap dance, mamba. You had to tell a skit, do a comedy skit, act, do reactional shots, be a background character. You had to check off every single box. You couldn't just be a pretty face that was re-portraying the idea, like the movie back in the, I think it was the mid 90s or late 90s, where the dude from Will and Grace, I forget his goddamn name, but he played Larry, and it was a type of nodding of the head of the Stooges. It was
Sean Hayes.
Oh, Sean Hayes, yeah.
Yeah, it was a tribute to them. Some 60 years later, they're doing a Three Stooges movie. They weren't trying to be the Stooges, but they brought a lot of young people got to see what slapstick and the Stooges were about. So I was very, very excited, and I got to actually meet the Farrelly brothers, go to see some of the production prior to coming out. I was very excited about the
That's
movie.
Cool. That's really cool.
Watching that movie, and obviously you're not gonna redo what Curly is, but then again, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell's wrong with these people? Just shave his guy.
Why didn't they just put you in there?
On stage, let him do his thing. Let the genetics take over. But
Yeah.
I digress. I'm just throwing it out there, but you could have.
That show would have been amazing. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just call up the relatives, but that's something.
I don't want to just say yes. Are you offering? Yes. I'll be there. I'll do whatever you say.
Like, all right,
same crap out of me.
Same contract as your grandfather, $1,000.
only $1,000, and you need to split it amongst all the cast members.
Crazy.
All of the cast members.
All 400. That's what you.
That'd be some shit, Brad, like right there, man. I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed, man.
Yeah, but getting back to the movie, there was just a lot going on in the movie. They wanted to fit into all one movie, which just makes it even more amazing what the Stooges were able to do with these short movies, where you'd be brought into the idea with the music of Three Blind Mice, and it was maybe like 22 minutes long. I might be mistaken at the time, but they were really short, to the point. They'd zip right through the plot. They knew the attention span on people. Realistically, attention spans of people have not changed. People on YouTube, you see them, man, I mean, some guy on a skateboard drinking cranberry juice got like 2.4 million views just because he was lip-syncing to Fleetwood Mac song.
Yeah.
2.4 million people want to see a dude for under 30 seconds lip-sync to a Fleetwood Mac song.
Yeah.
Holy Lord. But it was authentic. It was
what the hell are we doing wrong, Kevin? What are we doing wrong?
Yeah. What are we doing? I'm trying to figure it out, too, because we do like 5-minute videos. The attention span, when you look at it, is about 30 seconds to a minute and a half if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thousand things going on in people's lives all the time, and even with people that don't have a life, boy, they like to fake having one, don't they?
Right.
You see them go on, and it's really easy to fake having a life anymore. You just take a couple selfies next to things, you hold a hammer, and tell somebody to take a picture. You're like, oh, helping out here. And,
I know. In that particular movie, Will Sasso played Curly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
How do you think he did? As far as
I think they all three of them did great. I mean, it was taboo to ever try to do the Stooges, remake the Stooges.
Of course,
and I think they held their own. There again, you're not Moe, Larry, and Curly. You're not the originals, but you knew when you saw them who they were representing, which was the Three Stooges.
Of course,
and it was they did a great job. I think the Farrelly brothers too were huge Stooge fans. They took over 10 years to write that story, right? So it wasn't something that they just mashed together. And I think it did the job they wanted. Now, the intent was for it to continue. There was supposed to be
a sequel,
more movies. So we'll see.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a sequel, and then, obviously.
Yeah. So now, back to the originals, back to Jules White, the production. When you talk about how, if you watch today and you look how brilliant in that 15 minutes, there's so many things that were happening that are so funny that if you have to look at the signs and all the different things that they did were just brilliant. I mean, it really is. It stands today. It stands the test of time.
I was reading into it so much that I didn't know that. Not to say that they were broke, but like the amount of money that was put into the movies and the short movies. I guess they were cheap. They were cheap about it. Like they had used previous, I guess like previous sets, and they also did previous clothing garments and like props and stuff like that. And they used them for almost every movie, which was crazy.
Well, I mean, if we were talking about the studios not being fair to them, I think they were hoarding as much money as they could from them. So if they could save some money, and they were making the bankroll, then
that's crazy.
That's what they did.
That's crazy. Now, to get into not necessarily the, this will probably take us into our last, maybe the last one, before we happen to pop into our second half. But I was reading the story, and I didn't know how far down the rabbit hole it actually went, when and especially with your family. Now, Mo was, of course, the owner of all the rights of the Three Stooges, correct?
At some point, that side of the family was a major shareholder in it. We'll call it, yes.
Okay. And I was reading about, and they not necessarily threw up a lot of shade, but I guess there was a lot of shade as far as after the guys had passed away, and ownership had gone down to the children, and of course your mom and dad, had gotten, not necessarily they got boned, but I guess there was
deboned.
Yeah, they get
worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I guess millions and millions of dollars went kind of not necessarily missing, but up in the air because of merchandising and just like going through bankruptcy and stuff.
It went different places. I mean, new Curly's came on board, so you had different families. You had people that, my grandfather was out of the picture. He died in 1952, and they stayed strong to 1973 or 74.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the money went different directions, and that's fine. That's the way it sometimes works. Unfortunately, I make money on being a great-looking guy that's got a high voice, but
that's true. You are a handsome fellow.
My side of the family didn't make any money really being related to Curly Howard, and that's okay.
That's crazy.
Like
what kind of legacy does that leave? Yeah, what kind of legacy does that leave? Like, and not to say that it's like an empty legacy, but I know your grandfather worked very hard. Like all the guys worked very, very hard, day in, day out, sweating, dying, like breaking their bones. For over 200 movies, literally 200 movies. Of them just going at it and loving what they did. And they loved every minute of it, which was super awesome.
Well,
I think I just, the money aside, which is totally fine, I keep the legacy alive by reaching out to the fans, going to the fan club meetings, being on social media, making people laugh. I make a living myself as a salesperson.
Oh, sure.
Why wouldn't you buy from me? I'll buy from Curly's grandson any day. So I'm able to still utilize...
I don't even know what you're selling, but I'd buy.
The money part of it is it's
unfortunate
because I have a family that I want to support and take care of.
Oh,
but
of course.
I do it just on my own merit, and someday I'll get maybe I'll be in a Three Stooges movie. Maybe I'll be hosting the Three Stooges. Hopefully on MeTV someday. I'd love to do that. That's kind of what I really think I should be doing.
That'd be awesome. You should reach out to some not necessarily some Hollywood execs, but pitch it. Pitch it to somebody.
I put it out there. I've talked to some of the right people, and it's a timing thing. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, there's going to be big things in store for me, and it's it's going to be on, it'll be on my back. It won't be on my grandfather's back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know he would like that.
Inherently, Brad, statistically, inherently, normally people that come from successful people, it's already in their genes to make sure that, that they have it in their heads that they have a pinnacle to reach, they have a mountain to go over. So you seem like that type of guy. I mean, geez, to provide Secret Service for the President of the United States and underwear model at the same time, I mean, part-time salesman, and, I mean, you got a lot going on for you there, man. 2 out of 3 probably aren't true. That's all right.
I ain't wearing underpants.
No. Never mind, that was on the hub.
I know you're wearing a brassiere, so just stop.
No, I know.
Pants on right now.
I know there was officially six Stooges. Am I correct? As far as the originals are concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 Stooges. How did you? And not to say you're playing favorites, of course. Curly was your favorite Stooge. What did you think of Joe and Curly Joe?
Well, first of all, Curly was my favorite Stooge before I had to do it. It was my grandpa.
Of course, my favorite as well.
So, and Mo is my second, third, and I like Champ. The other Curlys, as a kid growing up, I didn't care for them. I didn't care for them because I was always comparing them to Curly, and no one had that same boyish charm, that same charisma that Curly had. But as you get older, and like I told you, the show went on for 20 years after Curly was out of it. Those guys brought a lot to the table. They kept Larry and Mo together for 20 years. Yeah. So they were great actors. It's too bad that they had to try to act like my grandfather, but they were really good actors, and they had bodies of work besides the Stooges. And you know what? My hat's off to them because they kept the legacy going.
Brad, don't you have this funny feeling that people that liked Larry probably liked Ringo?
Yes, that's a good analogy. Right. Absolutely, and there are a lot of Larry.
I like Larry. Yeah. It's like, I bet you were a Ringo guy too.
Yeah.
Well, how did you know? Like, somehow like Stooges and Beatles fall into place. Which if like a George Harrison type, right? Which would be which would probably be the Mo, all right, when they first started off, okay. Lennon would definitely be the Curly because of the passing away early and the influence and the impact. And you can't reestablish a John Lennon the same way you can't reestablish a Curly. So if the Beatles tried to reestablish a John Lennon type, it would probably be insulting towards the fans. And whether or not they intended to do that at the time, like they brought in Shemp. That's cool. Shemp, one of my favorites. Yeah. I always like Shemp's throw the shovel in the air moment where it's just, that's hilarious, where he's slipping around and the shovel stays up there for how long, but, it still tricks you a little bit as far as the audience watching it and all that nice stuff. So, but he was one of my favorites. But still, it would be as crazy as replacing John Lennon, where you're just like, hey, we all know Lennon got shot. It's like, yeah, so what are you guys gonna do? It's like, well, we brought in his kid. It's like, you did. You had to.
Exactly. It's just like in Zeppelin. It's just like John Bonham's son, great drummer, but it's not John Bonham, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Yeah, I mean, but those are like, family members, and you can kind of get it, but it never matches the pure authenticity of the original, the original.
Absolutely.
Brad, were you having
drank Coca-Cola in 1914 said that it tasted different after they took the cocaine out of it.
Yeah. How dare they?
I know, it just wasn't the same.
Brad, did you happen to be there for when the guys got the star on the Walk of Fame?
My mother was there. I don't know if you've seen any of the photos. I didn't go.
Oh,
in fact,
okay.
My biggest regret is that I didn't get to meet Mo and Larry when they were in the Motion Picture Hospital in the Hollywood area.
Okay.
I think I was 13, so I mean, you would have thought my brother got to meet him, but I didn't. And then I remember when my mom went to the unveiling of the star, but it was there again. My mom was very removed from the Curly part of her life because my grandparents divorced when she was 3. She was adopted by my new grandfather, and that really became her everyday father and became our grandfather. So it was really kind of hidden. A lot of stuff was hidden from us as children, and as we grew up, we didn't talk about the Stooges. We didn't talk about the other family members because it just was very, there again, it was this taboo thing. It's too bad. It's only been in like the last 15 years that, going to Pennsylvania and being with the fans and meeting all these people that love the Stooges so much that I'm now.
I'm just guessing, Brad. I'm guessing you were not hit as a kid because that'd be if you made the wrong reaction when you were hit as a kid, like whoa, 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 whoa.
I get hit even harder. Yeah.
like the recall would be there.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, you did that pretty well. Oh, you trying to be my movies? Want to get up around a little bit, buddy?
Bradley took
only if I get to dress up as a baby. That is a picture that nobody wants to see, Kevin.
I guarantee I would want to see it either, but I'm still down for it. It's going to happen.
They'll be like, hey, look at that guy with the sausage nipples in a diaper.
Lord, Tony. Don't make me imagine that I have sausage-sized nipples. Unless you're just thinking of sausage from Perkins again.
Maybe. That's what it was. Damn it. Damn it.
It is getting a little late over there on the East Coast. Are you usually doing something else about this time?
No.
We're usually fighting dogs at this point in time.
Yeah.
But,
whatever. Brad, let's actually, we're going to cut into the second half of our show. We didn't happen to do it last week, but we were talking with Jack O'Halloran, who starred in Superman, and he was an amazing guy to talk to.
Yeah. Man, you could bring up a grain of rice with that guy. He's got a funny story about it.
Oh, he's got an amazing story.
Well, I was there when they invented the damn thing. It's like, damn.
Yeah, he's got
to be true too. He'd have a picture of it.
He's got an amazing story, but Sparky, where are we this week as far as where we need to pick back up? RIT, the little state with a touch of Tennessee. Brad, we happen to play this game in the second half of our show, where we have our special guest come and join us down the ye old rabbit hole of funny criminals across America. And you are joined with us today in the wonderful state of Rhode Island and Tennessee. Sparky, how is this game played?
Well, for our special guest and our studio audience, what's going to happen is you are going to read 3 categories of 5 stories in each category. Now, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to guess if there's a false story in one of those 5 stories. Or they could all be true. So, but the biggest trick of it all is if you hear the word meth mentioned in any of the stories, it's a true story. So, meth is always the truth.
Meth is always a true story.
It's
a big one.
Normally with this police blotter, if you hear meth in it, no matter what follows that idea after the fact.
I told you guys that I was hungover and I'm not really up for these games. So go ahead.
It's a quick
one.
in.
I'm not going to do so well.
It's all right. It's non-competitive.
See, and here's the thing: nobody does well in this game. It just shows you that humanity is kind of screwed. Yeah.
I'm playing with myself this whole time. But the phone's shaking a little bit.
Who are you? The guy from CBS News? Who was that guy? Who was the guy from CBS News that was caught masturbating on camera?
Charlie Lord.
Charlie.
You can't say that stuff on TV. We're in Facebook land.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
No.
Charlie Rose, right?
Charlie Rose.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Why?
Charlie Rose is like when you catch your grandfather doing something horrible.
Horrible.
Back to the game.
Oh my God. All right. Like Charlie Rose, here I go into story number 1. Story number 1, Rhode Island man arrested for stealing a forklift and crashing it into a gate. He told cops that he had lost his keys and needed something to drive. Story number 2, Rhode Island man arrested for smashing his car into a cop car while playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, that's totally true. People love to smash their cars into shit while playing that little app game.
Story number 3, Rhode Island man arrested for stealing from a surveillance store.
Whoa.
Not too bright.
Not too bright. Not too bright.
That almost sounds like it could be false because, seriously?
We'll have to see. Story number 4, Rhode Island man arrested for bringing an unlicensed firearm into a police station. He claimed that people were trying to kill him, but he would kill them first. And story number 5. Story number 5. Rhode Island man arrested for taking revenge on police after cops called the thieves stupid. The cops called the thieves stupid. So they retaliated by stealing the police squad hubcaps. Squad cars.
That sounds like a Rhode Island type of retaliation. That's a hardened Rhode Island.
Hardened Rhode Island criminal.
Do you guys always pick on people from Rhode Island? How did you pick that state?
We're going state by state, all across the country. This particular week was Rhode Island and Tennessee.
Okay. Well, I'm getting it.
Yeah. So, Kevin, we'll start out with you. What do you happen to think of this week?
The low quality criminal of Rhode Island this feels like it's all true on this one. They're just getting into car accidents. People are smashing, looking for fake Pokemons and stuff like that. That's the surveillance camera thing, man. If that turns out to be false, and I didn't go with my gut on this one, I'm gonna be a little upset. But that's nothing to worry about there.
Interesting. Okay. All right, Sparky, what are you thinking, brother? You're all in?
They're all in.
All in. How about Stat Girl with you?
You got to show me your thumb. There you go. She's all in.
She's a thumbs up and all in. All right, Brad, what do you happen to think?
I think most of them sound like they've all been hit in the head quite a few times, sort of like my family members. I always believe all of them, except the second one. The second one seemed to be a little, I don't know about the second
one. A little Pokemon Go? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a dead body, so anything could happen.
Do you play the lotto, Brad? Do you like the lottery?
No.
You don't play the
like
lottery?
I said, I don't got much money.
But yet you do sales.
I do, yeah.
All right, I'm going to start off and give a little bit of background story behind each story. Sparky, right below me here, he draws an amazing picture, by the way. It's why I call him Picasso. He draws these interesting stories about these particular stories, one by one. We'll start out with story number 1. Rhode Island man arrested for stealing a forklift and crashing it into a gate. He told cops that he had lost his keys and needed something to drive.
Yes.
True story. It is a true story. Sparky, let's see these your wonderful picture of the day here. When I find my keys, I will bring it back. And clearly, he's riding some sort of lawn tractor.
Apparently, in Rhode Island, if it counts as borrowing, it doesn't count as theft.
That's true. That is true. Unfortunately, the gentleman was really drunk.
Okay.
And when you happen to steal a forklift from a manufacturing place, and then you tell the cops that you were just driving it to get somewhere because you lost your keys, bit of a DUI anyways. And also
that's
theft.
When they know he's been drinking. Forgetfulness seems to happen with overindulgence of alcoholism, or alcohol.
Yeah.
That's me.
Brad, don't be stealing any forklifts lately. Story number 2. Rhode Island man arrested for smashing his car into a cop car while playing Pokemon Go. Sparky, true story. Let's see this beautiful bean footage, Sparky.
Is he catching a Vulpix or a Pikachu?
You'll see.
I did not find a Squirtle, but the cops might have one. Oh! See,
you can tell which one the cop is right there, Brad. You see how he's got a little light on his car?
Yeah, I need to see that.
On the inside there?
Yeah, that's some great artwork.
Yeah.
Sparky's amazing.
the detail is in there if you look very close. The details are all
impeccable, impeccable drawing skills.
We are assuming that is exactly how it happened. Just in case anybody was wondering.
The bad guy looked like he had sausage nipples too.
If you zoom in real close, he had the sausage nipples. Yeah, they were there.
He did. Yeah, true story. Not really much to go into it. Instead, he actually proclaimed that, and I don't know what type of Pokemon he was trying to catch, but I know he was going down the street looking for particular gyms, and there was a cop car when he turned in. Boom, like smashed head on.
But that story was on CNN.
Yeah.
I like the one where the guy found a dead body.
He probably had something terrible on his phone and switched it over to the Pokemon Go app real quick.
Like, why do you admit to the cops?
He was probably watching a Curly G video.
Oh, he could have. Do you have the official videos? I like those.
Oh, sorry about that.
They could also be, Curly G videos are very distracting. Don't watch them while you're driving. You're going to want to pull over and watch the whole thing.
By the way, shameless plug, check it out on YouTube. Story number 3, Rhode Island man arrested for stealing from a surveillance store. This is the fake story. Kevin. I had to throw it in somewhere.
There's no such thing as a surveillance store.
Yeah, who's going to have a surveillance store? Yeah, thanks for the cameras.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a surveillance store. I knew it.
That was kind of vague. It was vague. It was very vague.
No, man, we got a stupid store down the road. All she sells is coffee tables.
Yeah.
Or like end tables. And I went down there and we have some dumb stores in town.
Is this a story for another time, Kevin?
You can just assume that they're selling
Story number 4. Rhode Island man arrested for bringing an unlicensed firearm into the police station. He claimed that people were trying to kill him and that he would kill them first. It's a true story.
Yeah.
True story.
Of course it is.
People are out to get me, so I should get them first. Clearly pointing the guns at the cops.
You see, they normally, when you point a gun at a police officer, they feel like that is a threat. And you're bound to get arrested. Then they're going to check if your gun is even registered and or licensed to you. And why ever you think...
But that gun in the picture looked like an angle. Who drew that gun? What was that? Go back to that picture.
It looked like a boomerang, right?
Go back to that picture. That was terrible. What is Sparky doing with his free time?
He loves boomerangs.
Sparky, the guy obviously he's a one-armed bandit right there. He's only got one arm.
He's only got one arm. And he's like this.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly this guy was not mentally capable of anything rational. So what happened was that he had a conversation with a woman who they had an argument about money. And when she had seen him, she's like, I'm going to have you killed. And these particular people are going to do it. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, you already told him that people are coming to kill you. These are the people that are going to do it. And I think I want them eliminated because you're going to do it for me. And he carried a gun, thinking that someone was out to kill him, when I think she was trying to kill the other two guys with him.
On the next episode of Mari.
I think everyone in this room and everyone listening to this podcast is dumber now for listening to that story.
I love it.
Can we just have it stricken?
We could have it stricken right off the record.
Oh, they're going to get better?
Oh yeah, they get incredibly better. Story number 5, Rhode Island man arrested for taking revenge on police after cops call the thieves stupid. They called the thieves stupid. So they took retribution by stealing all of the police squad cars' hubcaps. True story. True story.
That is a Rhode Island thing to do, man. That is such a waspy crime.
That's nothing. They're doing a lot worse than police cars these days.
Waspy, right?
Call me dumb, I got their hubcaps.
Yeah.
What does that even say, Spark?
Call me dumb, I got their hubcaps.
That is such a white-collar crime right there. That's like a guy that got fired.
Hunter, go sit with Mama. Go. Hunter.
They make new keys now, though. It's like, all right.
Yeah, the only problem is after they fired, they changed the locks anyway, so.
Or Valen's store. Geez, we got a cotton candy store down the road here. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
That is
It's
weird.
like somebody's house.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's still carrying out about the story. He's talking about the cotton candy store.
All right, next 5 stories real quick. We're going to start in the wonderful state of Tennessee for these ones.
Tennessee. Home of Jack Daniel's whiskey.
Ooh.
And a lot of other terrible things.
Delicious Jack Daniel's whiskey.
Oh, okay. All right.
Delicious. It's a good food additive. It is a good food additive.
I guess.
You never cooked with Jack Daniels?
Good on ribs.
Yeah, excellent on ribs, chicken. Sauces,
Yeah, you can
man.
make sweet barbecue sauce.
Hell yeah, you could. Hell yeah, you could.
You throw some sugar on there.
All right. We're going to start into the next 5 stories. I hope you're ready for this one, starting with number 1. Tennessee man arrested with the name Tupac Shakur. He had been arrested with drugs, and he happened to pull a knife on cops. Tupac Shakur. Story number 2, Tennessee man arrested for robbing a gas station with underwear on his head. The twist on this one is that he was denied twice by the cashier, then turned away saying, "This is stupid, don't make me pull it out."
Guess he was referring to a weapon there.
I was hoping. Maybe he had a penis nose. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weirdly worded. Story number 3: Tennessee man arrested for calling cops on themselves. They called because someone stole the marijuana that they were trying to sell. Story number 4. Tennessee man arrested for jamming Knoxville air traffic control and jeopardizing airport safety for singing the Flintstones theme song for 20 minutes while landing the plane.
Worth it.
Totally worth it.
That is the way to go out of it. Guys.
Here we are, the Flintstones. It's a yabba dabba doo time.
That's a mental break. That's a mental breakdown you can brag about in the institution.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That they will drag you off to.
And the cap off story number 5. This is the epitome of Tennessee man. Tennessee man arrested for having his 10-year-old son drive him home after the bar.
Well, man, 10-year-olds can drive. You know, they're playing video games. The car's not that complicated of an idea.
Not a complicated idea, of
weeks
course.
ago was a 6-year-old.
That's true.
Hey, yeah. Now, Brian, it gets complicated in California. You get on the highway, it gets a little complicated in those areas. I can give you that. But if you're in Tennessee and you're on a dirt road, you got a 10-year-old driving you, come on, man. You could just have... if a midget can drive a car, or a very short person even can drive a car, regardless, a 10-year-old could probably figure out how the damn thing works. You know?
10-year-old probably already has like 2 or 3 kids.
Probably.
10-year-old Tennessee
Yeah, probably.
has to have several kids. Yeah.
He's definitely got a sister mama. Oh wait, did I go inbred there? Did I go inbred for a second? I'm sorry.
But Tony just brought it to the level that it's probably accurately at. You know, like that 34-year-old woman over there, that's his wife. It's like, kid's 10. He's a stud.
Doesn't matter. He's got the curly jeans. Let's start out with you, Brad. What are you thinking? 5 stories from this one.
I think we're talking about Tennessee, which I love. I love Nashville. I love the state. I love the people. But I think they're all true.
Kevin, what are you thinking, brother? Kevin?
Been down there before. Love the area, but dude, you got to see some of the people from Tennessee. This is unimaginable. This is like there's some beautiful parts of Tennessee all around, but man, you get lost in those outskirts here and there, and it's just like, all right, every single one of those crimes, yeah.
You can see the backwoods happening.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't take long to say. It wouldn't take long for them to throw an 8-year-old a parakeet and say, "Drive us home." There, it's like, all right, well, this is happening.
You're getting raped by a tow truck driver.
How dare the cop not worry? That kid was sober, right?
He was sober.
Smart thing to do.
Yeah.
You're just
Dad very drunk, son very sober. But maybe he wasn't.
Maybe the kid wasn't sober. You know what? I didn't even take that into consideration right there. Maybe he was just more sober than
See, there's something about getting raped in the backwoods by a guy in a tow truck with dead, like Barbie dolls, decapitated Barbie dolls on the front of his truck.
Holy Lord.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I don't know why.
What the heck was that story?
No, you've never seen that in Tennessee?
That was like a fantasy. You need to stop that.
I'm sorry, Brad. I needed to share it with people.
That is
It's the thing that horror movies are definitely made of.
We are in October.
We are in October.
Binge watching those the nightmare movies right there.
True.
Tony, can you stand up and let us know that you have pants on, please?
I do not. That's why I'm not standing up. Charlie Rose ain't got nothing on me right now. That's why my arm is moving. Sparky, what do you happen to think, brother?
I hear banjos.
Oh, you hear banjos.
Oh, he hears banjos.
How about that, girl?
Yes, he hears them also.
All right, we got a big thumbs up. We will start at story number 1 in good old Kakalaka, Tennessee. Not even Kakalaka, it's next to Kakalaka, right and around there. Tennessee man arrested with the name Tupac Shakur had been arrested with drugs and pulled a knife on cops.
That doesn't look like a knife.
That is a true story. It is a true story.
Well,
who would have thought he was alive? And in Tennessee, of all places.
Well, if you want not found.
Almost 5 years of art school down the drain.
Mr. Pac. Mr. Pac. Not even Tupac. Mr. Pac, please put the knife down.
It doesn't look like a knife.
You can tell, it doesn't. It looks like a credit card. Maybe he's trying to say something in this that the guy was really innocent.
Maybe he had a log.
He had a credit card out, not a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was trying to hit him with a log.
Next time, man, that does not look like a knife.
I'll practice my knives for the next date.
You better. Yeah.
Sparky, instead of the knife, can you practice the whole picture?
I think it'd be great, but that's all right.
That'd be great. Yeah, baby steps.
Well, the children are off this week because I drew the pictures last week, so I didn't have to find them.
True.
Brad, Sparky runs a sweatshop over there. He got air conditioning, so now they just call it a shop. All right?
Yeah.
No sweating about it. I know, it's a terrible sweatshop joke, right?
That was a great sweatshop joke.
The hamster fell off the wheel in my head a long time ago.
Man. Some people just put the hamsters other places, but, into the ears, up to the butt, whatever we're talking here.
Story number 1. Story number 1 is kind of self-explanatory. I'm not even going to go too much into it, but Tupac Shakur, lovely guy, a lot of drugs, pulled a knife on cops, with the name Tupac Shakur. Of course, not Tupac Shakur, the singer, Tupac Shakur, the drug dealer. Yeah.
The damn cops must have thought that he was lying the whole time, though. Fake ID run.
Yeah, they're like, you could have been in California. It's not a party. California. No, all right. Story number 2, Tennessee man arrested for robbing a gas station with underwear on his head.
Edible? Did the birds expose them?
Not edible, but he was denied by the cashier 2 times after she laughed at him. He then turned away saying, "This is stupid. Do not make me pull it out." True story.
That sounds very wrong.
Brad, what were you doing in Tennessee on that day?
I was at the Waffle House.
If you say no again, I am going to whip it out.
And obviously he was wearing red underwear and he is not bleeding from the head. Right, Sparky?
Now, if you guys happen to see 2 weeks ago, not 2 weeks ago, but last week, Sparky actually showed that picture, and he said, what is the caption behind this picture? I don't know if you remember, Kevin.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody was like, oh, that's pizza on his face. No, see-through panties. See-through panties is the answer.
How about that?
Yeah.
See-through panties. I went pizza. It was triangle shaped.
It was triangle shaped, yeah. Yeah, he went see-through bikini briefs for the headwear.
Okay, so he's already. I guess a mesh stocking. Remember the mesh stockings that the bank
mesh
stockings
yeah,
in the movies?
Yeah.
That's kind of close to the see-through panties. Probably the same fabric. You know, the guy's improv and he's trying to figure out something to conceal the identity.
He was trying to go slapstick.
Nowadays, criminals, they got to just be easy. They just put the mask on inside, and they just can't go back there twice because now they know what you look like with a mask on. See? Messed up.
It was better than the clear plastic bag a few weeks ago.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Ended up losing air. It was terrible.
It's not smart to rob a convenience store with a plastic bag on your head, Brad. Probably not a good idea to rob a convenience store with a plastic bag on your head.
No.
No, that's not
He didn't do any shopping. He would put something in the bag. Did he ask? It's 10 cents for the bag. Did he pay for the bag?
No.
Yeah, California area, they don't really have plastic too much over there. Which
it's all eco-friendly, right? You got to bring your own recyclable bag.
So just the women are plastic, not the bags.
Oh, the fun bags. The fun bags.
Hey.
Oh, it's a family show. Family show.
Clean it up. There's children watching this.
No, hopefully there isn't.
Story number 3, Tennessee man arrested for calling cops on themselves. They called because someone stole the marijuana that they were trying to sell.
True story.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, and it is a true story.
Okay, what do we got there?
Yes, we called somebody. Someone stole our weed, and we need it back.
Well, they're not the weed police. Now, people don't know this too much. They are not the...
That's a totally different number.
When they call them the weed police, it's just certain cops that like to arrest people for marijuana violations. Out in some states, like Washington, Colorado, I'm pretty sure medical purposes in California, medical purposes in Pennsylvania here, but they obviously, I don't know, I don't have a medical card for marijuana. I have no reason to smoke pot and stuff, like what am I, 12 or like 15 years old or anything, but some people use it for anxiety and whatever, but definitely, if it's illegal in your state, don't call the cops if you lost it, if you're looking to sell it to somebody. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, not a smart criminal by any means. Story number 4, Tennessee man arrested for jamming Knoxville air traffic control and jeopardizing airport safety for singing the Flintstones theme song for 20 minutes while landing the plane.
Dude's legend.
That is legendary, but not in this story. It's a fake story, brother.
Oh my god! I wanted this guy to be real.
It is based on a true story. Based on a true story.
Picture of the week.
Ah, man!
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Tony family off the radio.
That's a good picture, Sparky.
I like that they're at the Titan Towers.
Maybe
it was a 25 minutes. Maybe that was.
That's what it was. That's what it was. It's actually based on a true story. If that's any you know.
Were they singing the Flintstones?
He did sing the Flintstones theme song. Yes, and they did jam up traffic control for 20 minutes. Not in Tennessee. Not yeah. Nobody really. Not to say nobody got in trouble, but it was pretty crazy. Story number 5, Tennessee man arrested for having his 10-year-old drive him home after the bar. True story.
What happens when you listen to too much Alan Jackson? When Daddy Let Me Drive song, they thought it was the law then.
Okay, son, can you reach the pedals? Can you reach the pedals?
Okay.
Dad must be a midget too, because he can't even reach the bottom of the floor either.
I guess they never heard of a taxi down there, but that's all right. You know.
I'm sorry, and not midget. It is what are they called? Small person. Yeah, small person.
Small person. Okay.
Small person.
Little
Yeah.
person. Little person.
Little person.
Little person.
I always think that little person is more demeaning. You know,
Yeah, I
like,
would happen to think so too.
That's true.
So, like when you go little person
Not a
bowling,
big person.
yeah,
Not a big person.
yeah, right, Brad. It's like calling him not a big person. It's like saying, "Hey, not a big person." You know, like just.
She wants to be cool.
Have you ever seen Brad? Brad, there's this thing that we do out in Pennsylvania. They actually do midget bowling.
What?
Where you throw the midgets? You throw the midget, or do you knock the midgets over?
You send them down on you send them down belly first on a skateboard into big giant bowling pins.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
No, haven't seen it.
That's cruel
It
and
sounds
unusual.
It's a terrible thing to do to any human. These guys get paid for it. They get paid for it. They get paid very well for it. But yeah, it's something. They also have a rattlesnake hunt for children down in Knoxon. I swear to God, a rattlesnake hunt. They didn't have it this year, so no kids were bit this year. Isn't that a lovely thing that just happened this year? Thank God. The COVID-19 came out to save children's lives. Only in Knoxon does a pandemic save people's lives down in Knoxon because they have a rattlesnake hunt. And the kids that come away with the most rattlesnakes. By the way, I know what you're thinking, Brad. How many rattlesnakes are indigenous to the area of Knoxon? Not many. So they go out of their way. They get rattlesnakes from outside of the area and
All across the country. All across the country. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous. I know what you're thinking, Brad. Wait a second. They must take the poison out of the rattlesnakes. No. They do
not.
No, they do not.
And were we making fun of Hollywood earlier? We've listened to what's going on in these towns.
I know. They also have their own police station in Newport Township. They have more bullets in Newport Township than the population of Newport Township. There's about 200 people that live in Newport Township, and there are 7 cop cars, 7 cops, and they have submachine guns just in case. Just in case. They want to shoot themselves out of a job for some odd reason. Holy crap!
Big city, though.
Yeah,
The safest city in Pennsylvania.
The stop sign in town in a long time.
Yeah.
It's
like stop or my mom will shoot.
I don't know that I can stay up much longer.
Okay.
We're almost done. Last 5 stories.
We got 5 more.
5 more states?
Oh, 5 more stories.
5 more stories.
Okay, let's do it. I'll stay up for it.
All right. Almost there. Tennessee man arrested for escaping jail for exactly 7 hours.
Oh, man, he probably was just going to work.
He's on break. He just took a break. He's right.
Who the hell comes back? That person came back to jail after 7 hours to come back into jail.
Probably like an Andy Dufresne thing. Then I crawled
I
back.
think my story's going to explain it when you see my picture.
Like reverse Shawshank, right?
It's probably a dame. He broke out for a dame.
Oh, hell yeah. You know there's a woman involved, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Story number 2, Tennessee cop arrested for assault for ripping off the mask of a reporter.
Okay, that's probably a thing now, yeah.
Story number 3, Tennessee man arrested for robbing a local art gallery while on camera trying to shove a painting into his jacket.
Picture of the week.
Definitely picture of the week.
If this is true, it's picture of the week.
Story number...
Framed.
Oh! Blatantly.
Brad's like, that was like right there.
I need a drink.
Story number 4, Tennessee man arrested for taunting police on Facebook. Why do they always taunt the cops on Facebook? This never ends well.
Wait a second. How are the cops taking offense to people taunting them on Facebook? It's Facebook, cops. What are you doing?
Facebook.
Like, how dare you? I'll go over and arrest you right now. All your information is right there. That's lazy police work. I'm sorry. I'm calling it.
Clearly, the gentleman was the gentleman needed to be arrested on warrants. They actually led police to exactly where he was hiding for reversing his IP address.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then he was already a wanted criminal, so then that's a little bit of a... I thought it was just somebody who's just saying, like, hey, cops, yeah, I don't like you so much. And then the cops are like, we're going to go to your house.
I hate you all. Your house is on fire. Nobody shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
No.
you have a...
Yeah. This guy was wanted by the police for several warrants. And he apparently taunted the police, saying, na boo-boo, this is where I am and you are not. Reverse IP, finding out exactly where he was. They come and arrest his stupid ass.
Yep.
Story number 5, Tennessee man arrested for robbery of a real estate agent. He This has got...
That's all you can just end the story there. Make everybody guess.
He fainted.
No. This is clearly a legitimately smart criminal because he filled out a card when he entered the house that was for sale with his real name and address on the card.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get much sleep tonight. This is very disturbing.
Oh my god.
Kind of eats away at your soul from the humanity part of life, right?
I'm starting to feel very normal now.
Yeah. Sparky, Stat Girl, where you guys at? I'm sure you're in. Kevin, all in.
Yeah, all in. We're pushing the chips in.
Mr. Brad's all in. All right. Oh, Brad, I'm glad you're joining us down this messed up rabbit hole. I'm glad you're here with us. Story number 1, Tennessee man arrested for escaping jail for exactly 7 hours. He then came back to go back to jail. True story.
That's the reason why.
Let's see it.
You had to run some errands.
Number 1, escape from jail. Number 2, pay bills. Number 3, pick up kids from school. Number 4, get drugs for the guys.
Oh, don't forget number 4, you get drugs for the guys.
Very important.
Yeah,
and then number 5, break back into jail. Super important.
Wow. If he just knocked out number 4 and number 5, he'd be a free man right now.
He would have been alright.
Why didn't he just let the new daddy do all the chores?
I don't know.
Not too bright.
Not too bright. No, not too bright at all. Story number 2, Tennessee cop arrested for assault for ripping off the mask of a photographer. True story.
Masks.
What kind of mask does a photographer wear?
Apparently a COVID mask. And when... Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about COVID for 1 second in my life. There it is.
Yeah, take off that mask.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently when you put your hands on someone else, regardless if you're a cop or not, guess what? You are assaulting that person. And you are probably going to get arrested.
They'll probably knock it down to slight harassment charges.
Probably. Yeah. Story number 3, Tennessee man arrested for robbing a local art gallery while on camera trying to shove the painting into his jacket.
Yes. So our picture.
Yes.
It was...
True story.
Okay, Let's check this out.
Oh, I love these pictures. These are awesome. This is Bob Ross at his best.
Where's the picture? Look at the birdie.
Look. Oh, that's a nice tree. Look at that. No mountains. No mountains, Sparky. That's what Bob Ross is known for.
No, yeah, he's making the trees happy little trees over here. All right, well, we did a little smudge of paint.
Here's what happens. Here's what happens when you rip a 4-foot painting off a wall and try to shove it into your jacket. It kind of sets off a lot of alarms.
Okay.
And if you can imagine a big 4-foot top jacket.
Does it protrude from the jacket at all?
Everything.
I would assume.
Everything.
Throwing it out there.
So stupid. So stupid. They were like, "Excuse me, sir, where are you going with that?" And apparently ran out the door. Just ran out the door.
Right, you could literally take every one of these crimes and put the Three Stooges in them.
Every single one.
You know, where they're trying to, get the painting around and put it in there, and you're like, quick, put it down his, put it on his shirt.
Put it in his pants.
Perfect.
Tennis.
Easy material source right here. Just take everybody's real dumb crimes and, stooge the hell out of it.
That's true. Brad, you should be taking notes.
They are reliving the Three Stooges every day in reality.
You're missing out on the baby thing. And I think you should go with Stupid Criminal.
I'll come and do the acting. You guys can slap me around. We'll make a living.
That's perfect. Perfect. We'll get it on film. Story number 4, Tennessee man arrested for taunting police on Facebook, leading police to exactly where he was. He was wanted for warrants. True story. Stupid Criminal. It is not like you. It is not like you can catch me. Clearly, there's 2 cops at the door.
I like how the little stick figure guy's just on his computer there, like la-di-da-di-da, we're just doing our thing.
I like how he has the gun pointed in the air. Oh, no, wait, that's a computer. Like this.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
Pretty good, Sparks.
Reverse IP address, sending cops directly to where he was. Clearly not a bright criminal, but he does go in the Criminal Hall of Fame for taunting cops.
He's talking a lot of smack, but
he was talking a lot of smack on Facebook.
Smack talker,
And story number 5, Tennessee man arrested for robbery of a real estate agent. He filled out a card when he entered the real estate house with his real name and info on it before entering the home, leading to his quick arrest. True story. Thanks for the money. If you are still selling, call me.
Cute.
After he gets out of jail, he's probably going to need a place to live, so, not a bad idea.
Brad Server, thank you very much for coming on our show today. We really appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Shameless plug time. Please go shameless pluggy. Send people to the YouTube.
Pluggy. Well, no, I want to thank you guys for letting me sit here and play games all night with you. It is a lot of fun. Hope your listeners enjoyed us playing our games.
I hope so, too.
Sparky's pictures are amazing. Those need to be framed. And don't let anyone steal those. I love the pictures. And I want everyone to come and join me on Facebook and on TikTok and all over the place. All you have to do is Curly's grandson, Brad Server. I pop up.
Boom. Perfect.
And when I'm in Pennsylvania, I'm going to come drag you guys to the Studium. It's right near.
Let me know. I'm in.
Nice.
I want to see some stooge paraphernalia. I want to see what the stooge bong pipe looked like.
Oh my! You have to ruin everything. With and stuff.
They don't have that now.
Everything's bigger.
Everything's bigger in Texas. We're in Texas next week. That's right, Texas.
Nice. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Brad, thank you very much for coming on. Check him out.
Have a good one.
check him out. Brad Server. Check out his YouTube channel. Follow, like, share. I'm going to go check out these baby videos as soon as we're done.
Yes.
I can't wait to check it out.
Thank you, guys.
Of course, I'm Tony Kaz, followed by
Kevin Neary.
And Sparkalicious. And, of course, Stat Girl. You can find us on all of the lovely streaming devices, such as Facebook, Google, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, CastBox, Pocket Cast, GeoReo, Spotify, YouTube, as well as Google Podcast now. Google Podcast.
Google Podcast. Gotta make a new site.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta make a new site.
Oh, God. Guys, you have a great night. Thanks for watching.